on this computer button, and we're good to go.
Boom.
All right, brother. Welcome.
Haven't seen a unicorn shirt in a hot minute.
Well, my mom requested that I wear this because while she's going into chemo and stuff. So.
Oh shit.
But I thought I told you.
No, I didn't know about this.
So she has a rare form of leukemia that's luckily highly treatable. So, and they caught it before it was like crazy. So there's this kind of has like a 95% survival rate.
Okay.
So she should be okay, but it's still scary, obviously.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so she loves like rainbow unicorns, and so I'm just gonna don these until she gets it on. She gets her injections on the 15th.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, but this isn't about me or my family time. This is about you and your expansion. So let's get into it. Tell me about your week, dude.
Yes, sir. So I shower.
Yeah, see, your hoodie doesn't let you like.
No, I can't flex the same.
You don't have the and I have the upward lighting, so you can get the.
Dude, it's fucking freezing here. Actually, to be a little more literal, it is below freezing here.
We have a polar vortex going through the southeast.
Oh, is that what it is?
So even Texas. So Austin, it is.
Dude, did you see that like 100-car pileup in Dallas?
No, that's fucking nuts though.
It was it was all black ice on a highway in Dallas, and there was 100-car pileup because it's Texas and people don't know.
No one knows how to drive on the ice. And shit, people don't know how to drive on the ice in Colorado, man.
That's also true.
It's like it's too nice most of the time, and then when it gets sketchy out, people are just ridiculous. I was driving, it was super sketchy out one day, and there was this guy in some fucking sports car out while it was sketchy, and he was fucking I was going like 55 and a 65 because I was like swerving in my Subaru Outback all-wheel drive with an inline V4, and so which just helps distribute weight, so for the front axle is a bit better. And this guy is going, must have been 80 something miles an hour at least, because he just fucking like at least 80 miles an hour, and I'm like, dude, and 5 minutes later the car is like turned over and like on fire on the highway. I'm just like, what in like, was it just suicide? Was that just suicide by like YOLO carring? I was like, that dude's fucking dead. That dude's probably dead. But anyway, don't know why that came into my mind, but yeah, people just generally don't know how to drive. And then of course, Colorado's filled with Californians who don't know how to drive, and filled with, and so is Texas now, or at least Austin.
Yep.
Fucking Californians ruin everything. So, so yeah, it's cold for you.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't get the optimal flexing angles because I'm staying bundled up.
I think we've reached peak. Like, there's no more we can talk about because we are officially talking about how the weather is. So we've gone from like being able to like attract anything we could ever desire into our lives effortlessly to like, it's cold outside. Cool, man. Cool.
We must still remain present with our normal people problems. We are men of the people. Oh, we lost something. There it is. I can't hear you.
What about this?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's very aggressive. Yeah.
Really loud? Okay.
Okay.
We'll use my MacBook Pro.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, there we go. AV stuff. I need a dedicated mic also, just like a Snowball or something.
Yeah.
Now that we have this improved, whatchamacallit, video.
Yeah, the video looks good. I like the backdrop.
It's a good backdrop.
Yeah. But in terms of expansion, not but, and in terms of expansion.
Well, it all is like we're
Yeah.
jib-jabbing about the weather, right? We're just two dudes jib-jabbing. So all working for a good. There's no way to fuck it up. I'm just busting our balls. It's like more of meta commentary on this like recording itself. It's like, yeah, you know what the internet needs? Talking about how cold it is. That's what they need right now.
It's yeah. So I make my bed. I do. Speaking of dope shit as it pertains to my bed, I got a new pillow. And
what kind of pillow is it?
It's the Pillow Cube, and it's yet another example of targeted advertisement just getting right to me. But it's a pillow made for side sleepers with broad shoulders, where it's just
humble
like
brag.
Yeah, humble brag. The humblest of brags.
Humble brag. It's like, when you're so jacked that it like hurts to sleep. Like that. Like, yeah, there must be a better way.
There has to be. And lo and behold, there is. It is called the Pillow Cube. And oh man, dude, I got some new sheets. I got a Pillow Cube. I've been sleeping like a baby. It is because I had like $5 IKEA pillows for like 10 years. And it's like, I don't need to live like this. There is no reason.
Investment in sleeping is like, I don't care what the money is. It's just like, just within reason. Obviously, it's like if I have this like $9 million bed to sell you, I'm like, I'm okay. But it's worth its weight. It's like there's no cap really. It's like anything that like new sheets, like $200, $300 sheets worth every single penny. A fucking $2,000 mattress, $3,000 mattress worth every cent, every single cent. Fucking blackout curtains worth every cent. You name it. Like, just get the things. Also, I found this new sleeping mask, which is like a pillow on my face, and it's
nice. I think I've heard of at least that general idea.
It's just instead of like really thin elastic straps, it's just the same material all the way around.
Oh, that's really nice.
And then it just velcros, so it's just like a sheet for like a pillow sheet for my face. It's awesome. So if you can't have blackout curtains or don't want to install them, like, it's the next best thing. I end up tearing it off my face by the end of the night anyway, and then it comes off. But that was with every mask. So you have a new Pillow Cube.
Yep.
That sounds dope. Super sweet. Yeah, I can't recommend the buckwheat pillow more like enough. I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, you're not the first person I've heard that from.
The buckwheat pillow it's so, not just does it like hold. So for those listening, the buckwheat pillow sounds really weird. It is just buckwheat, like chaff, and it basically just holds its position. So I can like get into a perfect. You ever had that pillow and you're like, get it perfect, and then you wake up and it's been like, and it's like sucked. It doesn't happen with the buckwheat pillow. It just keeps its shape. And then secondly, it stays cool, which is really nice. So it doesn't get my face doesn't get all fucking hot and sweaty, like a Tempur-Pedic pillow or something like that. Anyway, all right, new pillow.
Yeah, so
very sweet.
Sleeping very well, and it is dope.
You like cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Where is this going?
I have some news.
Did you get it? Did you buy a Tesla?
I can neither confirm nor
deny.
You
son of a bitch. What did you get?
I got a Model Y, black on black with white interior, standard range.
That is
2021.
The car. I have configured that exact car probably 300 times. Like, that's my dream car. It is gorgeous. So congratulations, sir.
It is purchased. I got my first paycheck from the new job with no California taxes taken out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It is, it is, and then I did my calculations. I can still have a 70% savings rate with my reduction in rent, the increase in money that I get from having no taxes, and the pay bump that I got. Still keep a 70% savings rate with that purchase and including the insurance and all the other bullshit to it. So I'll make sure I'll send you pictures.
Please do.
So
please do. When do you get it?
I just got the VIN yesterday.
Okay.
They sent it to me like Friday at like 6 p.m. I got the email being like, your VIN is like, what? I was expecting to not get a VIN for like fucking 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I got the VIN, and then the financing was approved already, but they need the MPVA or MVPA. And so I sent that in, but my loan officer like went on vacation. So who the fuck knows? So I sent it to like, but we'll see. So it all kind of depends on how that works out. But long story short, 22nd to the 27th, somewhere in that time.
Oh, wow. So like next week plus some change, dude.
Give or take. Yeah.
Dude. Hype. Super hype.
So we talk a lot about saving money.
Yep.
And you're like, well, doesn't this conflict with your saving money thing? And at face value, you could say yes to that. And yes, will I save less money now that I have this, like, I don't know, $800 a month obligation, which by the way is financed at 1.9%.
That's so dumb. So stupid.
So the answer is yeah, on face, yeah. I also don't believe that like money is this like scarce, like finite resource that like we make it out to be. And I don't fucking live like that. I like saving money. I save a ton of money. And I already mentioned like me being able to keep a ridiculous savings rate with the purchase of this car. And it's cool to get the things that you want. It's just more evidence. So do this. Now, if I had purchased a Tesla and I was already like $300,000 in debt with credit cards and I was dying underneath the weight of my, like, yeah, that would probably be not a wise financial decision. This impacts me literally in no way whatsoever. And it's just an expression of like more and more and more coming, and just coming and coming and coming and coming. So it felt weird to buy it, I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
I sure. Have like that zero debt balance in my net worth was really nice, and now it's not. Now it's like 45,000. Yeah. But it doesn't matter.
you get to own arguably the most fun thing you can own in 2021.
So I'm not worried about it. I'm already off to the races. There's a fucking Tesla owners motor club thing here in Austin. I'm going to be going.
Of course there is.
It's just going to go. I don't give a fuck. Like if you read all the like fat fire personal finance posts about this kind of shit, it's a balance of the thing. There's the guy who's going to tell you to just get that $10,000 like 2015 Prius.
Yep.
And there's the guy that's like, dude, what's the point of making this fucking money if I can't get the things that I fucking want? And I see both sides.
Yep.
And the long story short, man, there's no way to fuck it up. If I got the Tesla, didn't get the Tesla, not gonna. These are the wrong questions to be asking. What's the question I want to be asking, Jordan?
How do I want to feel?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, if it feels like shit and I don't like spending this, whatever the nut is for this, I'll fucking get rid of it and I'll eat the depreciation. It's the end of the day. I have a sneaking suspicion that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So the nail in the nail in the coffin for me was I went to a CrossFit class nearby, and I got out of class. I was feeling good, and there was one of the other people who just attended the class was getting into his Model 3, and I was like, so, and this wasn't a person on the internet. This was a person in front of me, IRL, and I was like, so how do you like it? And then of course he's just like, oh my God, it's amazing. I fucking love it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, then he goes, do you want me to like show you the car and like take it for a ride with me? And I was like, and I don't think he thought I was going to say yes, but I was like, yes, I mean, without he was like, oh, this guy's actually going to take me up on this offer. Oh, okay. All right. Well, yep. So sorry, bud. Then we got in there and he showed me the acceleration. He showed me just all like the car in general, driving it around. I was driving it. I was like, and I had just finished driving across the country in like a 12 or like a 20-foot box truck or whatever.
Yeah.
And this thing was so smooth. It was so quiet. It was so sexy. It was so fun. I'm like, done. I want to live in the future, and this is the future. And there we go. And that weekend, and then I built it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I went to the fucking store and I fucking bought it. And now I get to take a picture of this and send it to my old mentor and be like,
yeah, that's fucking
and
awesome.
Be like, all right, maybe 2005 back isn't as good. And then I'm debating on getting that matte, like that satin finish on the exterior.
Get a wrap
on the black on black. I don't think I will, but because it's like $5 or $6 grand, and that's just not worth it to me.
It's at $5 or $6 grand, that's steep, but goddamn, that matte wrap is sexy.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Real nice.
I think I will get like the protectorant, like you can like get the whole like front, the whole front
sealed,
edge kind of
whatever,
like sealed and protected from like gravel and bullshit. So I'll probably do that, and then I got to get the windows tinted.
Oh yeah.
Because especially here in Texas, it's like,
that white interior was a good move too.
I mean, the white interior was both an aesthetic choice and a practical choice. Well, as far as like heat here, the getting like ceramic tints like reflects like 80 to 90% of that heat, which is especially with the glass roof. Is. But anyway,
I also made one of my longtime wish list purchases yesterday. I got like a
Pornhub Pro subscription.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm above Pornhub Pro. Okay, there's better options out there.
Yeah, it's called Google.
No, I got like a prosumer grade espresso machine, which I've wanted for like 10 years. So I got we have an employee stock purchase program. So I was putting 15% of my income into that. And then I got that yesterday. And that's like, I woke up to my checking account having more numbers in it than I've ever had in my entire life. I'm like, oh yeah.
So do you get so for folks that don't know what that is, explain that.
Yeah. So ESPP, because I work for a publicly traded company, we have like blackout periods where we're not allowed to buy or sell assets. But during the blackout period, you can enroll to contribute a percentage of your income per paycheck towards the purchase of a discounted stock. For us, that's 15%. So you accumulate over the course of 6 months over that blackout period. They just keep taking your money. And then at the end of that 6 months, they just buy that amount of stock for you at a 15% discount. And then you can obviously you can hold it if you want, or you can just turn right around and sell it at the 15% profit.
Now, at that is that 15% discount calculated on which price? Because obviously the price fluctuates in those 6 months.
So they buy it all at once, and it's 15% of the I think it's the lowest purchase price at the end of market day.
On that day or
on that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe is how it ends up working out. But then like, so I did that, very excited. And it was
that
the same.
Turns into cash that they just
so mine got fucked. Mine didn't get fucked up. I made a mistake. And by I made a mistake, I chose to not do that for the following 6 months because I want to have the cash liquid to save for Tokyo. And when I chose to do that, I clicked withdraw current contributions instead of stop current contributions. So I just got all the money back as cash, which I actually like. I'm super hyped on. I'm not going to owe taxes on that or have to sell that. Yeah, because they take that money out post tax.
So I just pay taxes on the gain.
There is no gain because I just got it straight as the cash. They like held the cash because they buy
delta between the gain isn't between that 15% delta between the discount and the fair market value.
So they didn't buy the stock at all. They just held the money. They hold the money.
I see. So that 15% that you've been saving this entire time, they just gave you back.
Yeah. So I just got, which 15% of my income over 6 months is still like nothing to sneeze at.
No, that's nice. That's not a small amount of money. So that's a nice little chunk for sure.
Yeah. I woke up yesterday and I was very confused. I'm like, my bonus doesn't come until March. What is this money? I don't understand. But yeah, then I get my bonus in March and then I get my first round of vested stock in June. So it's just like we're raining dollars. It's a very exciting time in the financial world of Jordan Quinn right now.
And if look, making money is definitely better than not making money.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a certain baseline that is like where I'm not distracted.
Yeah.
But I can get just as fucked up making a lot of money as I can not making any money. I would rather have the latter problem. Actually, I don't even know if that's true because I can make much different and bigger mistakes when I have lots of money. And this is all relative, right? So it's like if a billionaire is listening to this, like these sums are nothing. This is like between their couch cushions, like right. This is like he could sell one of his 95 cars in his garage to cover what we're talking about. But for the vast majority of people in the rest of the world, is a bunch, right? And so this is all to say, like, it's not a prerequisite to an extent. Obviously, if I'm starving and I'm freezing to death out in the cold, that's a different story. But if I'm housed, fed, and have general security over just safety and security, like it's not a prerequisite for feeling okay. And that's as baseline. And then it's not a prerequisite for feeling joyful. It's just not. I'm speaking from personal experience. When I had, you know this already, but all of the trappings of like the modern life, the house and the wife and the job and the titles and all sorts of things, I was miserable. And then when I made the decision to like not feel like shit anymore, I was living at my mom's house and going to community college and working at the Apple store. And that was the beginning of feeling kind of the best that I've ever felt. Right. And so I like talking about money. I like talking about it like coming. It's a great I think that money is something that everyone wants and like understands. And it's I don't know about the understands part. And it's a great like analog to all of this other work where it was like I straightened myself out and then the money came, and not vice versa. And you can do it the other way around for sure. It just sucks that way. And so it's like I wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much. and like it's so much fun for me to like open YNAB and like allocate my bubbles, and
Oh, it feels
like,
so good.
it feels so good. Like payday was this Friday.
Yep.
I was like, I know I'm having to pay sales tax on this Tesla.
Yeah.
Right. And so guess what? Kaboom, there's a new little category.
Yeah.
Actually, I already have the taxes category. So that's going under taxes. Yeah. And since I thought I had like a $5,000 tax liability this year, but apparently I do not, which is fucking sick. And so it all balanced out. California owed me $1,000. I owe the federal government $1,000. So it's a wash. Fantastic. 0% $0 tax liability, give or take.
This will be my last year, I think, of any sort of refund. I've got a little bit of money coming back to me, but that will no longer be the case.
And these are good problems. Like when it's like these are good things. It's like the refund game. That's for like if I'm making 30 grand a year, then I can expect refunds and stuff like that. Like the refund, unless I'm overpaying. But why would I overpay my taxes? That makes no sense. Why would I overpay all year and then just get a lump sum back? Like it makes no sense to me. Why wouldn't I just get that money now? Like, and then I can just put it into Ethereum or the stock market or fucking save it as cash and not give the federal government an interest-free loan for fucking 12 months.
Yeah, no shit.
Makes no sense to me. Now, yeah, it's cool to get like $5,000 back in your taxes. That's cool. But that's $5,000 that I could have just had.
Yep.
I just never had to give away in the first place. So, but they made withholding like a lot simpler now in the tax. But anyway, whatever. So all to say, it's like money. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say, which I've said a million times with us before, so it's not new information, but it's like, if I get my thinking sorted out and my feelings sorted out, then the money will just take care of itself. And that may seem like magic, but it's actually not. Like, just think of it from first principles. Like, if my thoughts and feelings lead to the actions and the decisions that I make. And if I get those sorted out, then I get the decisions and the actions sorted out. And then if I stack up skillful actions consistently over and over and over again, like telling the truth, having integrity. So yeah, telling the truth when it's hard, right? Doing what I say I'm going to do, which is another way of saying honesty, right? Doing the things I actually want to do rather than like I think I need to do, or I'm doing because I'm afraid to, or what other people will think. Those decisions stack up over time, and then the opportunities just present themselves, right? So getting my first job in engineering was kind of an accumulation of those things, right? It was like, well, I know mentorship works. Maybe I should look for a mentor in this programming thing. And I found fucking 3 mentors. And then I showed up early in the morning to work with one of them at like 6 in the morning and worked with him. And just through that little action was enough for him to be like, I'll fucking make a recommendation and put my name on the line for fucking recommend this. And boom, there you go. I have my first job. And that just catapulted me. So as far as money goes. And
I think for me, like, that touring and engineering kind of coincided with the trajectory, the like start of the rocket ship, really, the exponential curve for me. Because like touring got me out of, I was already on my way out of bodybuilding, right? But touring kind of provided the vehicle to really like shift the mindset or help me continue shifting the mindset.
You shifted your mindset and then you went to touring.
Yeah, that's correct. And then when I was, yep.
Go ahead.
And then when I was there, I met you. And then like, as I was getting my first job, we were already working together. And then Afton and I chose to separate. And then like, that was those 3 events, everything before that had already been working for my good and setting me up for where I am now. But those 3 events, I think, were the like, you know, I was going, and then it was just a vertical curve. And it's continued to be pretty damn straight up and to the right since then.
And then like both with the things like coming into my life and with like the feelings.
Yeah.
So, well, the feelings are like, there's no like, I don't want to say there's a cap to like, there's a cap to like the intensity of emotion, right? Um, like, but there's no cap as to the duration. I think that's ultimately, and consistency, right? So things are going to happen, and I'm going to, like, my mom gets leukemia, right? Like randomly, like it's not genetic. There's no genetic like reason for her getting leukemia. It's just like, it fucking just happens. Um, which is doctors' ways of saying we don't know why. But it's not genetic. It's just like, it just fucking happened. So that news comes in, and I'm going to feel how I feel about that. Obviously, I'm not joyful and elated, right? But if we have a practice of taking care of our thoughts and our feelings, like I can deal with life on a day-to-day basis, where previously I was unable to face and deal with life. Like previously, if I were to get that news, it'd be like, that's a reason for me to like, I'm not just not going to go to this new job, and I'm just going to sit in my fucking bed and like just watch Netflix and fucking eat ice cream. When there's nothing wrong with sitting in my bed and eating ice cream and watching Netflix. Those are all amazing things. But they're kind of not so great if I'm using it to just not feel my feelings. And the irony is, the more comfortable I am with exploring and feeling feeling feelings that I don't want to feel, they're not as scary anymore. And then I just feel them, and it's okay. And then I can go on and uh, go back to being content. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want to feel content on a day-to-day basis. And so how do we get there? Boom. Well, we're doing it right now, Jordan. You and I are doing part of it right now. And so how would you describe the formula, actually? I want to hear because you're teaching this stuff now.
Yeah.
So it's like, how would you kind of describe the path?
Yeah, I think for me and the way I try to teach it to other people's based on my experience is like, I rely on your kind of, we talked a lot early on about the like, if you don't think this is yours yet, like just put faith into me and into like the things that I'm saying, right? And like just believe that it's possible. And I think so like early on, there's, at least for me, it was so much about just shifting momentum. And I think it's, these check-ins are super key for continuing to shift momentum even now, 3 years down the line, which it's been 3 years as of like a week from now, which is fucking crazy. So thanks for the
Feels
last
like
3 years.
longer. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it kind of does actually.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, there's been so much time and experience in that time. But anyway, I think that the shift in momentum is the biggest key. And for me, I felt that most intensely once we started doing the appreciations. And so that early on is like teaching others to kind of like have and cultivate that ability to recognize all the things already going right around them all the time, is huge. And once
Yeah.
I can
And
do,
so what does that do? Like, so if I were to distill what you just said, there were like two components that I heard. And the first one is, when starting to do this work, it's like, you don't have to like understand or believe that it's true. You like, but what can help is knowing that I have experienced it and I know it to be true. And so you can just kind of take my word for it. And if for now, and then until it happens
yep.
for yourself.
Yep.
So that's one. And then two, to kind of start the shift from happening, you start with like appreciations. And so if we talked about it, so the fundamental shift we're trying to make happen is what?
Is far, and like in general, it's to just to feel good. But I think like the fundamental shift I'm looking to see in myself and in my guys is like just the recognition of all the things around them already, that have always been there. is huge.
Yeah, we're talking about like, so yeah, feeling good, obviously, and then it starts in the like the automatic bubbling thoughts that come into my brain.
Yeah.
Right, these, I don't have control over what those thoughts are, and they happen thousands and thousands of times a day. And so how do I start shifting those thoughts away
Yeah.
from I'm fucked, like everything is on fire, I need to go get like all of this stuff, I'm scared, I feel like shit, like whatever, those are all like stories happening on autopilot, like over and over
So
and over again.
I think really it starts with reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, actually, is where
I would never prescribe that book. That's so great. I love like that. I have no monopoly on this process.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that book is a steaming pile of shit.
Oh, say it.
Oh, you were
big
joking?
Joke. Oh, 100%.
Oh my God.
100%.
Okay. That's fine. You totally got me.
Yeah.
So why is that? So we're laughing because we understand why that's funny to us. And like, why is that funny?
It's funny for me because that's what I tried to do. I just like burned through the self-help section of Barnes and Noble looking for answers.
I think that's where a lot of people start.
Yeah. And I think that's like, I'm at least asking different questions at that point, right? Like I'm looking for, I am, some part of me believes there's a different way, and I'm just looking in the places that I've been told to look. I think is at least where I was going when I started down that path.
I think that intuition is right. I think many people have felt that. I know I have. So I knew there was like another way to live, and that the way that I was doing it wasn't working. I just didn't know what it was or how to get it. And then the problem with self-help is it's like just kind of a lot of word salad, and there's not a lot of like actionable information. It just like, it feels good to read these things. And then with stuff like 7 Habits and why that's kind of trash, it's just like, I'm going to go get being better by like being more productive.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, it just seems, it makes no sense, like to me, a posteriori. So like, and even a priori, it's like, how would I be happier by just doing more stuff? Now, doing like good work feels really good. This new job that I'm in, it's a greenfield project. It's an early startup. So there's tons of work to do. And it's like, I finish the day and I just feel awesome because I've sat down and I've like applied my mind to like create stuff. That is a necessary, but having purpose is a necessary but insufficient condition. And getting purpose from the work that I do is a strategy. It's not the only strategy. I think this is kind of my highest purpose, is doing this kind of work. But there's plenty of people who work really hard at their jobs who are fucking miserable. So obviously it's not enough. All right, continue.
Yeah. So in actuality, that is not the recommendation I make. It is, I start the same way that you and I did. Actually, I do recommend really strongly they read The Wisdom of Insecurity. That book really stuck with me when you made me that recommendation.
What kind of stuck out for you there?
Yeah, the most significant line in that book for me, I still remember it, is, he's talking something about why do we have doctors in today's world? To extend our lives when we spend that extended time worried about whether or not we're still going to die. That's the line I think about most often from that book. And I think
that's such a great line. I totally don't even remember that line.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Dude, and what I love about that book is all of my guys or anyone I've made that recommendation to, they found their own version of that line. Like that book is so full of applicable wisdom that I think everyone has felt at some point in their life, and just puts it in words that make sense. And I think that book, at least for me, really sets the foundation for like where I want to be going. Because I think it speaks really well to like, yeah, it's okay that you've built all of these stories and like you were doing the best you could with the tools that you had. And now we're going to start the process of replacing those just like they did in Karate Kid. We're going to wax on, wax off just by shooting the shit and coming together and talking about things we like and by meditating
and appreciations.
Yeah. That's what I meant by the things that we like, but like more specifically, yeah, the appreciations.
Got it.
And then, you know, we do that for 3 months, 4 months, however long. And then not all of, but a lot of these unrelated things, seemingly unrelated things, start to not feel so bad or start to come together.
What do you mean?
So like big example for me out of my own experience was like the food and body stuff, right? Like I thought that was the thing. If I can just like meet this one thing head on and wrestle it into submission, the rest of my stuff will get figured out. I didn't like try to address that issue head on really until like a year and a half into you and I talking. That's when I found like my first food therapist. And not the only reason, but one of the key reasons that timing worked out the way that it did was because I had already built a much stronger foundation through this work for replacing some of those deeper stories that just were, at least for me, probably a little bit too hairy and too ingrained to actually deal with right out of the gates.
Yeah, look, man, I can treat like a mosquito bite while I have my leg blown off, but it's probably makes more sense to start with the leg being blown off and like truncate the bleeding and then deal with the mosquito bite. So it's a triage of emotional work. So it's like, let's get a foundation set and also get some smaller wins to understand like this stuff is possible.
Yeah.
There's a moment, I think, with everyone, and again, I won't speak for anybody else, but for me, in my experience, when I started to see the shift in thinking happen in smaller ways, like I would get some news and then my reaction would be just dramatically different than how it like to something I could remember like from 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, I encountered something similar like this and I like freaked out. Now I got it. And it's like, I feel like, okay. Yeah. And whoa, okay. Sweet. Yeah. My favorite one for that, like you can do this for your guys, which you may have already, and I may have done, I think I've done this with you. And I do it to myself every once in a while, is like if I get I'm feeling really intensely about something and I don't like how that's feeling, I can just set a reminder in my phone like for 3 months from now and be like, are you still worried about this fucking thing? Yeah. And the answer is fucking no. Yep. Almost every time. Oh no, every time I've done that, it's been no one gives a shit. It's like there's like some $500 thing that happens and I'm like, and then like, dude, I had $10,000 of like crypto stolen from me due to a stupid mistake I made. And like, dude, it's not even, I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it.
The last time I like binged super hard on food, I realized like I had already obviously been building up to the realization I don't want to behave in this way anymore.
Yeah.
And I was super twerked about it. And I remember that exact exercise. You're like, dude, put this day in the calendar. A, make this the last time, like just decide. And B, when this comes back around in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, 10 years, it's September 12th. And haven't had anything like that since then.
Something that really resonated with me with stuff like that. So for behaviors that I know are kind of I don't want to use the word destructive,
Mm.
but I'll just say it. But for kind of self-destructive behaviors like that, and again, the reason I don't like destructive is because I feel like they're all taking me to like, it's like to a point where I just don't want to do that anymore, and then I kind of, my life explodes, and at least that's been my experience. Is when, like, the first time I went to a meeting for alcoholics, I heard that, like, you don't have to drink again.
Yeah.
And I don't, it seems so simple to me, but like that fucking, I was like, wait, oh my God, you're right. I never have to have a drink ever again.
Yeah.
I don't have to ever again. Like, I don't, and that can be for any behavior I want. Like, I don't have to binge, or in my case, like binge and purge ever again. I don't ever have to do that again. Starting right now, I could have purged last night, fucking an hour ago, but I don't have to do it ever again. Same with cigarettes, same with any behavior, or same with relationships. Like, I can behave the way I want to right now.
And like rescinding on that decision, or like making a mistake, quote unquote, fucking up, doesn't mean I can't just decide to stop again at any point.
Begin again. Because what's the point of not, like, okay, so now I just do more of it, right? It's like, so I do this thing, I know I don't want to do more of it because I just happen to have done it again. It makes no sense. I have this destructive behavior or this unskillful behavior, so I just do more unskillful behavior because I have done unskillful. Like, it makes no sense. It's like I charged a bunch to my credit card, so I should just buy more. It makes no sense.
I think, at least in my experience, it's a momentum thing. Like, if speaking on the money example specifically, in my life, I definitely felt compelled to spend more when I was already spending more and I already had the credit card debt. Whereas if I built up momentum in the other direction, I'm saving a lot. I'm making skillful choices with my money. It's so much easier, at least for me, to continue moving.
That's exactly right. The cycle is, I feel like shit, so I do this destructive behavior or unskillful behavior, so I feel better. And then I feel like shit because I just did the destructive, so I just do that thing again over again. So it's like with food, it's like I feel like shit, so I'll eat some shitty food, and then then I feel a little bit better, but then I feel like shit for having eaten the shitty food, so then I just eat shitty food again. Yep. The lovely thing is like with food anyway, it's like listening to fullness cues, and just so you can eat shitty food and feel amazing, and just don't fucking binge on it, because it's like, it's not the last time you get to have fucking Taco Bell, man. You can have Taco Bell whenever you want, so just like have some Taco Bell. Don't have all the Taco Bell I can fucking fit in my gullet until I feel sick, like the Louis C.K. joke. It's like, I don't stop when I'm full, I stop when I hate myself. Yeah. It's like, I don't have to stop when I hate myself. I can stop earlier, and I can have fucking Taco Bell later if I want to too. It's fucking fine. It doesn't matter.
It's all fine.
And so yes, it is momentum, and anyone who saved a considerable amount of money knows that the momentum behind money is fucking absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy. Now I go to sleep, I wake up, and then there's just like, I've made more money. Yeah. Or my net worth is higher when I wake up. It's insane. And I didn't really start to feel it until I got into the 6 digits of saving things. Yep. Because then it starts to, like, the 1% change or a percentage point change is like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're like, oh, that's like this many days of work that I just did for nothing. And that just starts to build and build. And when that's $1 million, then it becomes tens of thousands of dollars with every percentage point move. So and it's the same thing with exercise and everything else. Momentum builds on itself, and you can go in both directions, and kind of the momentum starts with our thoughts and our feelings. And so that's why we address those first. And so we get that until first we learn to understand what that even means. Then we work on shifting those thoughts and those feelings. through deliberate action and deliberate practice. And then the automatic thoughts and feelings start to shift. And then when they don't shift, we become aware of them, we address them, and we talk about them. And then we replace them with ones that do work and with thoughts that we know tend to work out a bit more, that maybe they're a bit more skillful. And then we rinse and repeat over and over and over again until it becomes effortless. And then the maintenance also becomes effortless. I remember a time when I was first started mentoring and stuff, man, like I didn't want to do it. It was hard. Now, I just do it. It's just a thing that I do. It's just been a part of my life for fucking, I don't know, almost a decade. So it's just my life. And I hope it becomes just a part of your life. And I don't see why you could even be like more insane with your fucking like mentorship stuff. I don't see why you couldn't. Not that I recommend going crazy and getting like 10 dudes and like starting a center or anything like that. But
I would be just fine. I would continue to expand without it. And it is by far, at least for me, the most rewarding thing that I do now. Because like I just messaged you, right? I had one of my guys was like super twerked about the job hunt thing, really struggling with that. And, you know, most of the time, if he was super twerked about it, okay, let's talk about it a little bit. I'll remind you why that doesn't need to be the case. But most of the time, it's just like, you know, Aikidooing it, right? You're like throwing punches at me in anger about the job thing. I'm like, we're just going to not do that. We're going to go over here. And then, lo and behold, making more money than he did before touring, getting a job that is perfect for him, allowing him to travel and do all the things he wants to do. I'm like, oh, imagine that. And he's like, yeah, remember when he told me to stop fucking worrying about it so much? Like, yep.
Not.
That's a gross oversimplification.
Yeah. I won't get into that phrasing, but you like worry about it more. Don't worry about it like until every ounce of work, like until go as far and then like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel so great. Maybe there's a different way. And it's also fucking fine to worry about. Like, it's okay. Fucking feel the things you're feeling, acknowledge that it's silly, make fun of myself, bust my own balls. And it's like, yeah, I'm worrying about this fucking thing. Why am I worrying about the job? Well, if we're going to do the resentment path, right? It's like, it's so obvious. Job equals money. Money equals safety. Boom. There we go. I've equated this money with my safety, and my safety is in jeopardy, as well as my social standing, which is another phrase of safety. If I'm cast out from the tribe, like, boom, I'm dead, right? Boy, there we go. Fear basically all boils down to that kind of shit. Okay, well, I know realistically and practically that's all fucking absolute nonsense. Thank you very much, like lizard ape brain that had kept my generations before me alive, so that we are now today able to drive a fucking almost fully self-autonomous driving fucking luxury vehicle. I appreciate that, but you are unnecessary. There is no tiger in the jungle. I am not hunting for my food. I'm fine. But I appreciate you doing a job that has worked for millions of years. It's just, you're not needed anymore. You're not needed in this circumstance. Now, if I'm in the Amazon, with fucking hunting jaguars, okay, sure. Feel free to kick in. But right now, in my fucking Airbnb here, like, I watching a YouTube video, like, I'm okay. Like, I'll be fine. I can just order some groceries. I appreciate it. And that Aikido you're talking about, yeah, with a guy, like, and I've already said this a million times to you, but part of the job of being a mentor is just, people will try and sell you on why things should suck. No thanks. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that. I will just fucking just raise a completely different subject. Fucking
used to get
you down. Well, why won't you co-sign my bullshit? Come on, mentor. You're supposed to be here so we can talk about our problems. No, that's not why I'm here, actually.
Oh, I used to get.
Do you want to talk about your problems, or do you want to fucking feel awesome?
Yeah, I'd get so butthurt early on.
Why aren't you listening to me?
Yeah, but
Because
my feelings.
listening to you is not what you're doing right now. Is not what you want to be doing. Listening to you right now, no, I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to help you shift your thinking. And me listening to your fucking problems, which you stewed over 10 billion times, is the exact last thing that you are wanting right now.
Yeah.
What you want is to not feel like shit about your problems anymore.
Yeah.
And stew it and not stewing over them.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah. What else you got for me, man?
I was curious if you checked out 10th Planet and how that went for you. If you
It was great. Everyone was super chill. It was super nice. Super fun and super awesome. I signed up. I had then put it immediately on hold because my bike was stolen and it's 3 miles away. And and now there's a polar, but there's no me getting to there. So once I get my Tesla back, boom, we'll be back on and we'll see like 10 penalty. And it's so funny. The guy's like trying to sell me on signing up. I already made a decision. I was going to sign up, but he was like, and we have this fucking, do you know who blah, blah, blah is? And it's like, no, I have no idea who any of these people are. I don't care. I just want to do cool shit with cool people, which is
that said, that gym does you'll get the opportunity to train with some of the coolest, best people that have ever done jiu-jitsu at that gym.
That's what I hear. I hear it's like an absolutely fantastic gym. I'm excited. I might even do some striking. I don't really know. We'll see.
Striking for me, I don't enjoy. But I know tons of people who love it, and that might end up being your thing.
Again, feel it out. I'm like, whatever, right? I don't know. It was super cool to roll. It was super fun. I had no idea what I was doing, and just being honest about that, which was really funny, is that the guy that came over. So I was working with a guy who had like a ton of experience, and which was great, and he was super chill. And then another guy came in to ask for some help, and he started asking me. And I was like, I have no idea. I had like, I this is literally the first time I've ever done this.
Yeah.
And then that shifted. Then he started giving me advice. I was like, But long story short, super fun. I'm signed up, and I'll start going once I have the car, so I can get there. Because a 3 mile run there and back is just not going to happen. And then as far as like, I would actually love your just brass tacks kind of perspective on like how to proceed as far as like attendance and stuff. So there's, they have the beginner classes, which are for beginners, right? And those are at like, I don't know, 5 or 6 p.m. like twice a week. And they recommended doing like 20 of those before doing any other kind of class. And then is there a belt system at 10th Planet?
So kind of, not really.
Like how do you like graduate, like it's, that game is fun to me. Like the chasing of like the
belts and dude,
ranks and stuff. So like how do they do that there?
I don't know if every 10th Planet is this way, but no-gi is super different. Like as far as there's usually a lot less emphasis on like the belt and rank system in no-gi only gyms. So I know that you can be like a 10th Planet black belt. That is a thing that exists. But I don't know if you get promoted on like a cadence, if it's based on attendance. Like I'm not sure how they handle that. But I know it's less formal than like the gi is. Because like with the gi, right, you don't have that situation that came up where someone starts asking you questions. It's like, I'm in my white gi with my white belt. You know what I am.
Exactly.
So if you're like, if you want to chase, or if you're feeling like that is super fun, you want to chase that dragon, Sanji Hibero, which is who gave my professor his black belt, is opening a school in Austin in a week. And he's like 7-time world champion, one of the best who's ever done it. Super cool guy. And that's gi and no gi. So that's definitely an option too. He also trains at 10th Planet a lot. So that's, but if you're feeling like the belt, no, to directly answer your question on the like 20 beginner classes, I'd say that's probably about right. I wouldn't hold yourself back from checking out one of the like intermediate or advanced classes though, just because you'll see and learn a lot of really interesting shit.
Yeah, they were super informal. It's not
Yeah.
like they were like, and don't fucking come.
Yeah.
Like, they were just, everyone was super nice.
Yeah.
Really chill. Yeah, it's really funny when it's like, when you know you could fucking literally fucking kick the shit
Yeah.
out of literally anybody or almost anyone that you encounter, any normie on the show, like you're just chill. It's like, I don't need to, there's no fronting. I don't need to be.
It's
So,
dude, it's the best sport ever, I think, that, or at least that I've ever done, for tearing down that like male ego barrier to like like meeting people and just shooting the shit. Cause like you said, if you're good at this, you know, you don't worry about that anymore.
guys with a big dick don't need to talk about how big their dick is. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So, uh, it's like, yeah, and it's just like I love the like being a beginner at something,
Yeah.
and then going through the stages of like not knowing shit about something, and then like getting like one tiny little thing, and then building off of it, and then getting fucking hooked in, and then just diving head first and fucking falling in love with it. And like, so yeah, I'm like, it was great. I'm excited. I signed up for the like 4 classes a week thing,
Nice.
which I thought was, it's like you can go like twice a week.
Yeah.
And you can take 2 classes and each time you go kind
Nice.
of thing.
Yeah,
So,
that's perfect, I think, early on, because like it's just a very different kind of conditioning for your body. And I think a lot of people will start, balls to the wall. They'll try and go to roll 4 or 5 times a week. And that just won't feel very good.
I mean, it wasn't like physically difficult. It was, I felt like, not to brag, but I'm in pretty good shape. So,
it's still the hardest thing I do. But there is like as you get better, the intensity tends to ramp up.
Of course,
a little
man.
bit.
Yeah. I'm like not like, I'm just trying to like understand what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And so like half of it is not even moving.
Yeah,
Like,
actually though,
for sure. And like I came from wrestling, so it's like a match is fucking intense. And so like, yeah, absolutely. Because 1 minute of or 2 minutes of wrestling is like when you're trying like 100% effort, not die, like, yeah, it's intense. So yeah.
that was definitely, because I wrestled too. And the first time I did a jiu-jitsu tournament where you're doing wrestling pace, but for a 5-minute straight match, that's where shit gets weird.
5 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time to try and prevent someone from murdering you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time. Or breaking your bones. That's a fucking long time.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Anything else for me?
No, dude. As always, appreciate you.
All right, next week, let's get into a resentment. We could jib jab all like, and again, it's not about getting them done. I just want to continue the cadence of doing that work. And all right, brother. I say that now, we'll probably just jib jab for the whole hour, but that's fine.
We're putting it out there.
Because maybe I'll have the Tesla by then, and I've got to like show you the thing. And
dude, I expect to walk through
the Tesla. Whole thing from the Tesla.
Please. I'm here for it. I'm so here for that.
All right, man.
All right.
Later.
Peace.